Now, what if I could told you that during the holidays is the best time to expand your small business and create new offerings? Well, in today's video, I'm going to share with you a product that could generate 40, 50, $100,000 in a matter of months. We're talking about something that is very close to many people's hearts, and that is creating personalized ornaments. Last year, we shared with you a technique using the X-Tool F1 and the F1 Ultra, how to create ornaments. Matter of fact, we created a jig system for you to use to be able to create these and do them easily. I'm starting to see a massive pickup in interest and purchases of our jigs in order to support the holiday season that's coming. Well, in today's video, I want to share with you a brand new technique of a new product that we have and also jigs that we've created for it that are going to allow you to take your ornament creating to the next level. This is a special one for me. This is my dad who passed away in 2016, and this is a crystal ornament that has his photo and when he passed. And if you could imagine creating this, not just for those who pass and those who we love, but also for new, let's say, events like the purchase of a home, the birth of a child, or let's say an engagement or wedding. Can you imagine the market opportunity for you? Check this out. This is what we're talking about. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you how you can make a crystal ornament like this using the Eufy E1 UV printer. That's going to take your business from here to here, and that spells profits. Let's get right to it. Now, before going through the actual ornament and showing you some of the options that we have here, I just wanted to highlight the business opportunity that I'm seeing. Every year for the next 3 months, this is going to be September, October, November, there is a massive spike in purchases of ornaments. Right now is the time to start your marketing, and right now is the time to start positioning products like this onto the market. And once again, if you don't have a UV printer, you could definitely go with something like this. This is something that you should be planning for as well, and that's why we're going to include the actual ornament guide or the actual video here, and then also links to those jigs. But if you have the UV printer, it is really the time to make sure that you start investing in this type of messaging and communication. To give you a sense of what I've been finding in my research, I found that just one product alone, one shape of these type of ornaments, circle, you're going to see the heart version, you're going to see the oval versions, generated for several Etsy store owners by product, an average of $40,000 a year. $40,000. And what I want to sink in here is that it's not $40,000 over 12 months. It's $40,000 over 3. That's significant. So let's get to the process, and I wanted to share with you, the process that we went through, how we made this, and how you could do this as well. Now, the actual link to the video showing you how to make ornaments, I will include this, and it should pop up any second now. And I still think that creating ornaments like this is an incredibly popular and also profitable business for you, and would recommend it highly. Now, many are looking at UV printing, and UV printing takes your business to the next level, and it actually transforms your memories as well. We have ornaments that have the names of our loved ones on them. In some cases, we even did photos of our loved one as well. So this year, as I was playing with the Eufy E1 UV printer, I wanted to do something special, and I wanted to see, what would be the interest in something like this. Check this out. So this is a crystal ornament from JDS. And what I did is I took a photo of my dad, who passed some time now, and we miss him every day. And I took that photo, knocked out the background so that it would just be him. And I went ahead and put, when he was born and also when he passed, and printed it on this glass crystal. And I have to say, I was just very emotional, but I also was very excited about the quality and the significance of something having like this. Let me go ahead and put this on the main camera for a second so you can see that one more time. This is like having a photo, a real photo, but it's in an ornament form. And this is going to be on our tree. Now, the way I did this, and this is what I'm going to show you in this video, is I did a couple things. First of all, I created a jig system that's going to allow you to make these and align them perfectly every single time, because that's something that's really important to us, especially if you consider doing something like this for your business. The second thing was the technique that we used. I want to show you something really special about this. So take a look at what I'm going to do here. I'm going to flip the actual ornament over. So first of all, the actual image is not printed on the surface. It's actually printed on the back. And I'm going to flip it over. And you're going to notice that you can see my dad again on both sides, but they're different perspectives. Now, the one thing that changes when you flip this over is that the actual letters, the words are actually backwards, obviously. So what I did in order to get this effect is I printed this glass ornament back with my dad face down, but then I inverted the photo so I can see him how the photo was taken. And then also when I put the words, I inverted the words as well, because this is how the ornament is supposed to be facing. It's supposed to be facing outwards. Now, in order to get this effect where his photo appears on both sides, and also it came out so clear as you see there, I did a couple things. And by the way, this technique can be done on any UV printer. This will work with any UV printer. What I did was I basically placed the ornament down like this, and I printed it CMYK first, which means place the color. Then I did a layer of white, and then I did a layer of color. So what that ended up doing is it basically created a layer in between the glass to make sure that the actual photo of my dad had a background on it, something that could make the colors pop. If I didn't do that, if I didn't put that white layer, it would look more like stained glass, and I didn't want the stained glass effect. Again, I wanted an effect where it looked like a photo. I wanted it to look really, really crisp. So laid the color first, then I laid a white layer that provided the depth, and it created that, the fact that he pops and it looks like it's literally like if I inserted a photo. And then I created another layer because sometimes when you have your ornaments on the tree, your ornament can flip around. And while it's important to have the words there, or any kind of messaging there, I found that personally, for me, it's more important for me to see the face of my loved one at a distance than it is to see the little words that I may have written. So I gave priority to being able to see his face in any situation. In any situation. That is either from a distance or close up. And then if I have to adjust it, I can adjust it. So again, the technique is color, white, and color, but the photo is inverted. So that's the one thing I did. Now, the cool thing is that, and it's hard to keep fingerprints off of crystal. JDS has a lot of different shapes, and they basically have a heart shape. This heart shape is going to be great. This is actually, we have a jig for this one as well, and it's going to be for, let's say, Valentine's or not so much, well, you can do this for Valentine's too as well. But if you have a couple that just got married, if you have, an engagement, any of those type situations where you have a couple and you want to put something there that is special. And this one, you'll notice that it has a lot of depth to it. And we're going to be doing the same thing. You can do the same thing here, where the flat surface is where I would print the actual image of the couple with whatever words I want, especially if you're going to do this as an anniversary gift. There is the most popular shape that I've been able to find on Etsy is the round shape. And I'm going to show it to you right here in this jig. So the round shape, this is the most popular shape that's out there. And this also basically what you would do is, and I have this right now facing upside down. So the actual edges and the bevel are facing backwards or facing down. I would basically print on the back of this, do the same thing. And there's different ways. I've seen different techniques. Some people put it halfway. Some people do the entire ornament. It's really up to you what you want to do, because think about it. It's like a photo, right? But instead of printing it on paper, you're printing it on glass. And it's classier. It looks sharper. And the cool thing is I don't have a box here, but JDS provides you a really nice gift box that goes with it, and also a silver string that goes with this as well. So it's a complete package. And the only thing that you're doing is applying the actual image to it. So this is one shape, and I have, again, all of these shapes for these jigs or these pieces of crystal that you see here. Now, there's another popular shape, and I don't know if you would call this hex or diamond. I couldn't find the piece of glass that we were working with, but again, I just wanted to show you that we have 3 shapes that are available. We have the heart, we have the actual circle, we have the oval, and then we have this one right here. So we have 4 different shapes. There's even a star shape as well. I'm trying to rack in my head, like, what would be the significance of having a star as an ornament. So I have one, but I don't know yet if it's going to be something that we're going to be using. But in our business, These are the shapes that we're going to be focusing on, and this is what we're going to be promoting. Let's see what it takes to make this. I want to show you how I use the software to do it. Now, the image prep is pretty much, you can use any software. Matter of fact, you could even use Canva to set this up. And in many cases, that's what I do. I go into Canva, I have my shape. And you know what? I think I'll show you my Canva setup. I put my shape, I do all my cutouts there, and then I export it as a JPEG, and then I put it in the Eufymake software, and then that's how I print. So let's go ahead and check it out. Now, everything starts with a photo, and this is a picture of my dad at his retirement party. It was one of the moments that, as I go through all the photos of him, that he was the happiest, he was smiling, and it was a milestone for him having retired. So I grabbed this photo, and I could do some of this stuff in the Eufymake software, but I chose to go into Canva because I like working with templates. Let me just show you my process. Once the removal of the background is really simple in Canva, right? So if I just do a background removal, you'll see it's gone. That's how fast it is, right? So I looked at the photo, and one of the things I did in addition to knocking it out is I wanted to see how it would look. Now, you don't have to go through all these steps. You could literally just do the background knockout and just put it into the actual software. You could even do the background knockout inside of Eufymake as well. But I like positioning things, and I like looking how things would look. So what I did is I got a template for the actual ornament, and then I started playing with it to see what my options were. This is why I put it in here. Again, this is an optional step. You don't have to do it, but it gives me a sense of what the end product would look like. And so I went ahead and I designed it. I looked at what I was going to put inside of the photo, and then this gives me a good sense of what I can expect, right? After doing all this, I actually chose not to use these characters or this font. The font was too thin and it didn't stand out as much. So I ended up actually retyping, Dad and then in loving memory and his birth date and day of passing inside of the Eufymake software and using a larger font because it would stand out more. So that's one thing I just wanted to share. Now, the other thing is exporting a photo like this out. Oh, and one other thing. I also extended his shoulders and his arm because the photo actually cropped it out. When you notice, let's go back to the original over here. You'll notice that there's not a lot here, and I wanted there to be, it's not balanced because he's actually standing next to someone, and I wanted to focus on him. So using the actual software inside of Canva, I extended things. Under Edit, there is a function here that basically is like an extender. Let's see if we can find it in here. Here it is, Magic Expand. So what I chose, I pay for the version of, the subscribed version of Canva. And I chose this. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to, using AI, to extend the photo. So I basically extended his shoulder over, and I also, because in this photo over here, it was kind of cut off a bit. In this photo right here, you'll notice that it was cut off a bit, right? So you can see how cut out it was. I extended this to give the photo a little bit more balance, and that's why I chose Canva versus using the Eufymake software, because the Eufymake software does have the ability to clear the background, but it didn't have the ability to extend and add to, my dad's shoulders or to his arm to balance out the product. Now, when I exported it, I did this. I went into my downloads, and then what I did is I chose the current page that I was on, right? So it's current page, and then I chose transparent background, and I did a download. Now, the cool thing about Eufy Studio is that it's very visual, and also the actual image quality of the camera is really good. So you can see here I have my jig inside of the E1, and then you could see the glass that I have here, which is that crystal glass, which is the oval shape. Now I have a couple layers, and I've turned some of the things off. I'm going to turn on one of them so that we can see it. This is the photo of my dad, right? And I'm just going to turn that off so you can see how nice the alignment is. That's pretty spot on. Isn't that crazy? So basically, with the photo enabled here, what I did was I basically came to the image side, and let me go ahead and scroll down here on this side. And notice what the color choices that I chose. I basically chose for ink mode, CYMK, white CYMK. This is what I had mentioned I had done. So basically, it's going to lay down one layer of color, and then it's going to do 6 layers of white. That gives the image the ability to pop. You would think it'd be the reverse, right? You think I have to add more color. But without having a solid foundation, the image just wouldn't pop. So all you need is 1 layer of color and then 6 white layers. And the reason why I went with that is because I chose the acrylic material type. I didn't really find a setting inside of Eufy for glass, but I find that the acrylic setting worked well. Now, there's one other thing I did to the glass in addition to choosing that color type. I basically wipe down the glass with alcohol. And I would say that once the Eufy E1 becomes available, I would probably put a promoter on this to make sure that the image sticks well. In my case, the image stuck well. I do have a promoter that I used as well, but make sure that the surface that you're going to engrave on is very clean. Now, you'll notice that on mine, there looks like there's a lot of fingerprints. It looks really dirty. That's the opposite side. It's not the surface that is being printed on. Just want to make sure that that's clear. That's just handling of the glass. So if you're doing this for business, you're going to want to make sure you're wearing gloves, and you're going to want to make sure that they're nicely polished as you turn them in for, once you're done with the printing. So all I did again was Canva. I basically put the image here on the actual desktop. I dragged it into place and sized it to the size I wanted. And then one other thing I did is I flipped it, right? So if I look at what the picture looked like, this is what the picture looks like when I'm looking at it. But then what I did is I flipped it using this function here. And this is all I'm doing is hitting a right button and then flipping it. And that was it. And I did the same thing to the text. So the text, I just literally added it using their text function, added it here, flipped it so that I can have my text and then the picture of my dad in this image. And you saw how it turned out. It turned out incredible. One other thing I wanted to highlight that speaks to the quality of these prints. Notice here, I use standard. This is standard quality, and that is a fantastic image. I could have chosen high quality, but I chose not to. I just chose standard because standard has done really well for me, and I just went with that. So all you have to do is once you have this done is you send it to print, and it literally just takes seconds. I don't think it took even a minute to do to actually get that image out printed on a beautiful piece of glass. So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.